Welcome back to week 2 of the Wrestling Junkie Power Rankings. This week, we definitely have some changes in some positioning for a lot of people with some new faces joining, which also means some faces did leave the list. But how are we feeling about this week's power ranking?
Yeah, for this week's, weekly TV wrestling, it honestly wasn't the most amazing week of pro wrestling this week, so not too many just complete bangers. Y'all see that obviously in our top 5 matches of the week if y'all haven't seen that earlier this week. But I think this week it'll be, like you said, a lot different. And I think y'all will be surprised of how the changes will happen here.
Yeah, we're going to start off with our number 10. Last week we had Becky Lynch, but this week it is Naomi, who did drop a few spots. She had a segment this week, but that's kind of the reason why. It wasn't an amazing segment. She had a little promo with Tiffany Stratton, which led to an interference with Nia Jax, and led to some little scuffle between them. But yeah, she didn't have an amazing week, but she still managed to stay on the list. And yeah, she's still a top 10 wrestler of the week.
Yeah, loved Naomi obviously winning the Money in the Bank match. Had a decent segment with Tiffany, as you mentioned. But yeah, not much changing with her. So she drops down on our list. However, our number 9 is someone who goes up on our list and goes from the number 10 spot only to number 9 because she had a really good promo on Raw this week, and that is Becky Lynch. She came out there and had the very fun promo where she was kind of like delusional, speaking about Lyra Valkyria and how she lifted her arm and almost broke her arm, and then she almost killed her with the German at the end of her match. But it was really just her speaking crazily about the situation in her own fantasy world or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, definitely an interesting time for Becky Lynch to raise up one level here.
Yeah, she had a great, another segment, like you said, with Lyra Valkyria, but also we also see the return of Bayley as well, which is really cool. So yeah, Becky kind of being a big star factor in this Intercontinental division is great because it allows for other people to keep going after her because she is a big name. But next up at number 8, we have somebody who did drop down quite a bit, and that was our number 1, and it is Stephanie Vaquer, who is now at number 8. Really not much to talk about because she did just spend most of the week out, spend the whole week out, matter of fact. So yeah, that's kind of why she dropped. She didn't want to knock her off completely off the list because she did go for number 1, so it would feel unfair to drop all the way off. But yeah, so hopefully this upcoming week when she does wrestle on Raw, she goes back up on the list, which I'm sure she will.
Yeah, I think that match will be amazing, especially with the return of Asuka being part of that as well. But yeah, I think she will do great. But going in at number 7, someone who also dropped down from the number 2 spot to number 7 is Kenny Omega. He had the contract signing with Okada, and it didn't go his way. He got attacked by Okada and the Don Callis family, where he got swerved by the Don Callis family. But yeah, very interesting time for Kenny Omega. Wasn't my favorite segment, and he also didn't have a match, so he does drop from number 2 to number 7.
Yeah. And following that, we also have Lyra Valkyria, who does drop a few spots. But yeah, this week she didn't do too much as well. She ran in after Becky Lynch kind of kept talking her crap about her. But yeah, she did nothing insane this week, so pretty small week for Lyra Valkyria. But I think next week we'll see some bigger things from her.
For sure. And moving up from not on our list at all the way to number 5, that is Swerve Strickland. If you watched our top 5 matches of the week, we both had him as our number 1 match of the week with Will Ospreay, so he goes from not on the list all the way to number 5.
Yeah, this is kind of, it's a little unfortunate for everybody else because, it is kind of a little cheat code to have the best match of the week, but when you have such a good match of the week, this is why you get up there, and yeah, Swerve's more deserving. But now at the number 4, so again, somebody who went from not on the list to on the list, it is your new World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. He had a pretty good match this week with Jey Uso, probably their best match of their entire series, I would say. But yeah, obviously winning that World Champion is going to give you a little bit of a boost, and then having a good match with Jey Uso, who might not be, a Will Ospreay, is still pretty good, obviously, but to have a good match finally with them two is good, nice to see. But yeah, good week for Gunther.
Yeah, especially since he'll be moving on for Goldberg. As much as people, and even myself, don't really care for Goldberg, I am very interested in that match. He's faced someone like Pat McAfee, so him doing a Goldberg, it's not going to hurt him or anything, and I think it'll be as long as he wins at least. But yeah, assuming he wins, it's not going to hurt him or anything, so I think it'll be a fun match, him versus Goldberg. But moving on to number 3, someone who wasn't on the list at all and moved all the way up to number 3, that is Liv Morgan. She was part of that big fatal 4-way match on Raw where we seen Roxanne Perez take the win. Yeah, she's been part of amazing storyline with Roxanne Perez, with Dominic Mysterio, with Finn Balor, and now also including Nikki Bella. So yeah, she had an amazing episode of Raw where she just showed off a lot. She was really good in everything that she did. So yeah, good time for Liv Morgan.
Yeah, it's one thing to dominate the show and have a lot of screen time and not be good at it, but when you're Liv Morgan, she is somebody who's getting that screen time, is making the most out of it, and is great through all of it. I love the stuff that she did with Nikki that kind of was, led up to that she was already pissed off early in the day with Roxanne. Then she went to see Nikki, and she laid into her as well. So, yeah, she had a very great week, and I love that to see the improvement from Liv Morgan, because a year or two ago, she wasn't this good. She was kind of somebody who was kind of pretty low, I'd say, on my list, but now being able to mix in with some of those top women that she did for the past year and a half really helped her, I think, a lot. So yeah, the continuous improvement of Liv Morgan has been great. And similarly, our next person at number 2 is somebody who she is feuding with, and that is Roxanne Perez, somebody who is continuously improving in every single week, and this week winning her Queen of the Ring qualifier match was something really cool to see. But yeah, that's why Roxanne Perez goes from number 5 to number 2 this week.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez has been completely amazing with everything that she's done, starting at the Royal Rumble this year, where she was the longest lasting woman in the Women's Royal Rumble ever. She goes on to the Elimination Chamber, had a good showing there. A lot of people are calling her MVP of the match even. After that, she goes on to WrestleMania. Didn't have a match, but she was a part of the Stand Deliver pre-show, and she kind of had a little story built there with Cora Jade as well. And then she has the amazing Raw after WrestleMania. Yeah, she's had an amazing year, just getting all these opportunities to show off at Money in the Bank, at now Queen of the Ring, at Night of Champions and everything potentially. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on for Roxanne Perez. One of my favorites. I can't wait to see how she'll end this year. But moving on to our number 1 spot, Will Ospreay. We mentioned him earlier. Part of the match of the week was Swerve Strickland at the opening match of Dynamite this week. And yeah, he did amazing. It was a great match. And yeah, it was our match of the week, so he goes all the way up from our number 7 all the way to number 1. So yeah, amazing match, great segments. That's part of everything with Hangman Adam Page, with Swerve Strickland, with the Death Riders. He even had a segment with Bobby Lashley last week. So everything that Will Ospreay is touching right now is doing pretty good.
Yeah, Will Ospreay is somebody who you always know I can always figure he's going to be somewhere in this top 10 as long as he's around. And yeah, he kind of proved it again this week, where he had a simple, good promo and a good match last week, and then now has a phenomenal match on weekly TV. Is going to have a big boost. So yeah, that 7-1 jump might seem a little crazy, but it is Will Ospreay. He has some of the best matches, so it all makes sense. But yeah, I think a pretty solid week. Not too much I would really change. I think, there's a few things I think can be a little argued. Where could a Stephanie Vaquer drop from number 1, and how far should she drop? But we're kind of still figuring out how to do this power ranking, and yeah, we're kind of getting a feel for how this is going for the future as well.
Yeah, we're going to continue to do these, obviously, every single week, but we'll mention it one more time. But number 1, we have Will Ospreay. Number 2, Roxanne Perez. Number 3, Liv Morgan. Number 4, your new World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. Number 5, Swerve Strickland. 6, Lyra Valkyria. 7, Kenny Omega. 8, Stephanie Vaquer. 9, Becky Lynch. And 10, Naomi.
Yeah, that would do it for our Wrestling Junkie Power Rankings of the week. Let us know what you guys would change and what would your power ranking be for the week. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.